MasterChef has come to Ireland in search of the country's top amateur chefs. A grueling process of challenges that will push each contestant to their very limit. It's the ultimate in cooking. And judging will be two of Ireland's foremost culinary figures. Michelin-starred chef Dylan McGrath.
It'll be really interesting to see what sort of talent is out there.
And restaurateur Nick Mounier.
To be able to sort of take and nurture these home amateur cooks, but turn them into chefs. Now that's what I'm really excited to do.
From over 1,000 applicants, the top 50 have been chosen to battle it out to get one of the coveted 16 aprons. And a chance to win €25,000 if they become Ireland's first ever MasterChef champion.
I think we're looking for someone efficient, someone conscientious, someone meticulous about their organisation.
I'm actually looking for a person who has great potential, who can improve immensely, and sort of take them from a good cook to a great cook.
Our final 16 have come through an intense auditioning process and are now entering the MasterChef kitchen for the first time together to hear what is today's challenge and ultimate elimination test.
Hello and welcome to MasterChef. You are the finest 16 amateur cooks in the country.
Getting this far in the competition is a huge achievement, and you should all be very proud of yourselves. But unfortunately, at the end of today, there will only be 12 of you left standing.
So to help us make this decision, we need you to cook something that says something about you.
We want each of you to cook a dish that sums up your personality. Basically, we are looking for you on a plate.
You have 10 minutes to choose your ingredients and 1 hour to cook.
So please come up and collect your ingredients, and good luck.
The contestants are not limited and can choose any ingredient from the abundant pantry, from lobster to strawberries, from chocolate to a wide array of fruit and vegetables and herbs and spices. They also have access to larder foods.
When I went up to the pantry, the first thing that caught my eyes was the elderflowers. I always look out for them when they come into season because I know it's time then to pick the first lot of gooseberries. Saw the elderflowers and I went, are there gooseberries here? They're in season. I started looking around for them and spotted them, and I was there going, this is brilliant.
This is the first competition I've ever entered in my life that I'm confident if I do my best, I can get to the final. I have to be positive. Yeah, I'd like to see myself go all the way.
My dream is my 20-seater restaurant. Mum always wanted to own a restaurant. She opened a small takeaway shop, but it was never quite the restaurant she ever wanted. In regards to me fulfilling that dream, I think it's a continuation of my mum's dream and her family, basically.
Okay, guys, time is up. Back to your workstations, please.
"28-year-old Aircom employee Mary was an audition highlight, with her pan-fried scallops served on a cauliflower puree topped with a smoked bacon mousse.
Absolutely fantastic. Beautiful. That, for me, is the dish of the day.
Wow.
Today, Mary has bravely decided to use just strawberries as the inspiration for her trio of desserts.
How is this going to represent your personality or tell us a little more about you?
The first dish is a kind of a granola pot. And I'm using oats because my granny was an original Flavin, so I want to kind of pay homage to her. She had a massive influence on my life and on my cooking, so that's
very good.
one dish. And she always served me breakfast every Sunday. And then the second dish is a strawberry financier cake. Basically, I spent a year in Paris. Want to just recognise that and the good times I had there. And I'm doing a jelly as well. I pour my heart and soul into my cooking when I am cooking for my friends and family, and I get great pleasure out of cooking something that they love. And so it's kind of an expression of how much I care for people without being too soppy.
Hi, Barry.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, Barry.
Hi, Dylan.
So well done to getting this far.
Thank you.
So what are you going to be cooking?
Today, I'm trying to keep it simple, ingredient-wise, but different. I'm going for club orange scallops, basically. Like, I'm from a coastal town. Some of my earliest memories is fishing with Dad, stuff like that. I use fish a lot, love to eat fish, cook fish. The other aspect of the dish is using club orange. It's probably a wee bit different. Fizzy drinks is not something you usually associate with fish, so going against the grain a wee bit, possibly.
For me, the flavours do work, and I think it's a risk that's worth taking if I pull it off in the day, which I know I can.
For the audition, Jarek, originally from Poland, made a strong impression with his smoked haddock open ravioli with asparagus veloute and 2 poached quail eggs.
So, welcome to MasterChef.
I think he's amazing, I couldn't believe. When I got through, I couldn't believe. I thought it was a dream, and the dream came true. My mom was crying when I told her the first time. She was so proud of me. I think she's keeping her fingers crossed all the time, even she's asleep. I'm gonna cook for you today braised roulade of beef with sauerkraut, seasoned vegetables, and beef joe.
Is the beef going to be pink or is it cooked?
No, this beef's gonna be braised for at least 45 minutes.
Okay. Is that long enough to cook the beef?
Yeah, I've chosen the top side, which is I think is the...
Which can be quite tough. You better get that on quick.
Yeah, that will be the first thing I'm gonna start off.
I think so.
Next up to face the judges is independent TV producer Kevin from Navan.
Well, today I'm going to cook some salmon. And it's the salmon of knowledge, the Brad on Fasta since it's MasterChef Ireland.
Okay, so the salmon of knowledge is your reference to your personality, is it?
Absolutely. So today I have a small twist with it. I'm preparing 2 chocolate sauces as well to go with the salmon.
Okay, and what kind of chocolate are you going to be using?
I'm using a white chocolate and a dark chocolate with fennel. And the white chocolate has a fish sauce.
Is this a dish you've eaten somewhere? Is this something that you've seen before?
I've seen the chocolates differently, and I've had chocolate with salmon before, yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested in molecular gastronomy. I'm studying that at the moment, where you can actually get textures and fuse them and put them into something else. For instance, I can get some fresh peas, I can get a piece of rasher or bacon, I can put the 2 of them together, and I can put them back into the pea and make a new pea with it. And when you taste the peas, then it has that bacon flavour in it.
Richard, who hails from Bangor, County Down, is next up to explain his personality on a plate to Nick and Dylan.
See a lot of ingredients here, Richard.
Loads going on there, Richard.
Lots of sides of your personality, is it?
I'm a big ginger guy, and you're going to get a big ginger plate of food with a bit of a fiery temper, so there's a bit of spice in there to reflect that. So you're getting a beef masala with a cardamom-scented sauce, curried pumpkin, and a puri. So
puri?
Puri is?
Puri, it's kind of a fried Indian flatbread.
You comfortable you can do it in the time frame, Richard?
I've done it at 59 minutes. So.
Don't shake on me now. Don't shake on me now. All right, good job. We look forward to tasting it, Richard.
Hope you like it.
Good luck, man.
Okay.
Housewife Jackie is sticking to what she knows and is hoping to impress with a chicken dish with a North African influence.
How are you feeling today?
Feel good. Good and calm.
Good and calm. Well, we like to hear that.
Relaxed?
Yeah, relaxed.
Okay. So, what are you cooking for us today?
I'm cooking a Tunisian-style tagine with jeweled couscous, and it's a soupy kind of tagine. So it's not thick and stewy, but it's more like a broth. It's vibrant and healthy and unpretentious, and I love this dish.
Tipperary-born occupational therapist Brijean will attempt to show her personality through the use of cauliflower in her dish.
You'll see as time goes on, I suppose, when I'm under pressure, you'll know. When I'm happy, you'll know. When I'm feeling stressed, you'll see it in my face. And I think cauliflower can be kind of like that if it's had a bit too much sun or if it's had a bit of a bashing, you know, you can really see it. It does exactly what it says in the tin, so that's the sort of girl I am.
I think because of my job, I'm used to dealing with pressure. I'd be relatively organised. You know, I try to keep to time as much as possible. You know, I'm not scared of a challenge, so I think that will stand to me.
Over the previous week, 50 made it through to cook for Nick and Dylan. But now only the best 16 stand in the MasterChef kitchen. Today they must cook head-to-head in the hope of holding on to their MasterChef apron. For 4 of them, the dream ending is just around the corner.
Heading to this challenge is quite nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. There's a lot of pressure on. I've got to know the other guys quite well, and I know their standards are as high, if not higher, than mine.
I've done this so many times, it'd probably be just like as if I was sleepwalking, I could still do it.
I think it's going to be really, really hard today. And you've got to up your game every time you go into a challenge. So every time you cook, it's got to get better or you're not going to last.
I'm feeling relaxed about it. I'm confident in that dish. I love it. It's my favorite dish at the moment, although things can go wrong, of course. But yeah, I look forward to it.
I feel great. I'm ready for challenge. I am bursting of energy.
You have exactly 1 hour. Your time starts now.
I think if I focus on elimination, I'm going to kind of worry too much and bring myself down a small bit. So I think it's important to kind of stay positive. You know, I believe I can do it. I just need to focus myself and go in there and produce what I know I can do.
My strengths in the kitchen are basically timing. And also, I think presentation of food is very important because I do believe that you eat with your eyes.
Connell, who recently gave up his job to pursue a career in food, is cooking lamb and is planning on incorporating lavender.
And have you put the lavender on the crumb?
Yeah, a little bit. Lavender herb crust. So there's parsley, a bit of thyme and a little bit of chives and a tiny bit of garlic in as well, just to give it a bit of flavour.
Okay. And the lavender is not too strong?
No.
You've tasted the crumb?
Yeah, I tasted it, yeah. Okay. So, you know, I think it's okay. In fact, I erred on the side of caution because there's going to be lavender elsewhere in the dish as well.
You're going to put lavender in the sauce as well?
The lavender goes in the jus now in a minute.
Yeah.
And then I also put a few lavender flowers on the plate as well. So.
Okay.
Account manager Grant chose a lobster from the pantry and is using it in his curry dish.
So just explain to us what you're doing now.
Just halving the lobster, getting rid of the bits we really don't want to eat, which is mainly the
coral.
The coral, and I'll be putting that as half straight into the pot. So all the flavours of the lobster goes into the curry.
Okay.
And also the curry goes into the lobster, so the meat's kind of tenderised. To be standing in front of Nick and Dylan cooking food is probably the scariest moment I've had in a long time. These guys are professionals. They're experienced. They know what's good and what's bad. And to have these guys critiquing your love, your passion, and what you do, it's scary. Because what if you're not good enough? What if you're here by default or by accident?
Danish journalist and food writer Nadia is preparing Thai barbecued chicken with papaya salad.
This is carrot and the green papaya that I've chopped up there, and so I'm just, beating this together with some chili and some garlic and, some palm sugar. Yeah,
so it's not cooked at all, it's raw?
It's raw, yeah. It's a fresh, salad, like strong, spicy, hope you guys like spicy food. I made this dish like tons of times, and I cook it for dinner parties, but if I do undercook or overcook the chicken, that could be a problem. I just really, really want to make it through the first week here, which is gutted to be leaving in the first task.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I really want to make the very, very most of it.
I really want to stay in this competition till the end.
For tonight's MasterChef challenge, the contestants have 1 hour to cook a dish that represents their personality on a plate. currently halfway through their cooking time.
When it was mentioned to us there earlier that 4 people will be leaving, my heart just nearly stopped.
If I would be eliminated, it would leave a big gap in my life. It's taking over my life already. You think about food, you write about it, you talk about it all the time, and that would be gone then.
You can never assume that you're always going to make it through. Even the best people in there can make a mistake and it can all go wrong. So if you're not conscious of it and if you're not worried about it, then it's a very foolish way to be.
Care worker Barry stood out at the auditions with his salmon and wild mushrooms a la grecque.
You have shown true potential, so I have no choice also to give it a yes.
Welcome to the team, to the club. Don't let us down. Keep that level of consistency.
Sticking with fish today, Barry is attempting an experimental dish that includes scallops and fizzy orange.
So how are you coping?
Not too bad. I think I pretty much have it under control.
Okay. And you put the agar into the...
Put the agar, brought it to the boil, reduced the fizzy orange and the orange juice right down so it's more concentrated flavour with star anise, cinnamon. Just trying to get as much flavour in there as possible, then whisk in the agar, brought it back to the boil again to make sure it's well into it.
So it's all going according to time?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good luck.
In the last round, I was cooking venison and I slightly overcooked it. And this time I'm cooking the fillet of beef, and if I overcook that, I might as well forget it because I'll be going home. Oh, shit. Cut. Can I get plaster or something? I was trying to pulp some ginger on a microplane and took my eye off what I was doing, which is something you should never do with a microplane because they're incredibly dangerous. I'm not going to finish now. To be honest with you, normally I'm not that panicky, but I actually was getting a bit panicky because I thought, well, what the hell am I going to do? How am I going to get this back? Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Dylan is casting a stern eye over Mary's workspace.
You can't work in that mess and produce clean food. Yeah. You can do it once with one dish, but as soon as you've got a few dishes to do...
Can you imagine that she has to cook for 12 people?
Yeah.
And she gets 6 desserts on the go?
Yeah.
Where are they going to go?
Yeah. When the pressure comes on, she's really going to fall down.
Sorry, this one's still bleeding. Fucking hell.
OK, guys, 20 minutes is up. You have 40 minutes left.
Of course, somewhere to eat. This has taken 10 minutes out of my time. I was already 59 minutes last time I practiced anyway. The first thing I made a decision to do was delete one of my elements, basically. So I was going to do a fried bread, like a puri. And I said, right, not going to be able to do that.
Guys, you are halfway through. You have half an hour left.
I couldn't believe, you know, it was halfway through and I was there going, oh, I haven't topped and tailed all the gooseberries yet and I need to get those on, I need to get the biscuits on. I really felt the pressure then.
Rather than cooking something from childhood, I would have imagined that they would have taken something that's nostalgic and given it some sophistication as a chef.
And a bit of a twist, yeah. A bit of magic on the plate.
I was impressed, but Conal, do you think he has the ability to go forward?
I do think he has the talent to move forward, yeah. If he's nurtured, he sees more things and he learns a few more things.
Shane, I don't think we've tested him yet.
No, which is maybe good.
That's the one thing I'll say about him. I don't think we've pushed him to the limit. I'm interested to see him cook under pressure. It's whether or not he can maintain that lightness of hand that he has, or whether or not that starts to fall off the page.
Good point, yeah. What do you think of Brigitte?
Brigitte, she certainly has the confidence.
Yeah.
Maybe a little overconfident sometimes.
Maybe this will bring her down, hopefully, I think.
I think we definitely need to, we owe it to her, to be fair, to tell her where she's wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes she thinks she's so right.
Personal assistant Mandy from Dundrum stood out at the auditions with her cold veal dish.
That is fantastic.
Thank you.
Stunning food.
Glad you like it.
and was the first person to receive a MasterChef apron. Today, Mandy has decided to win the judges over with her fillet of lamb with herb couscous and 3 pestos.
Lamb is going on now?
Lamb is just about to go on to give me time to rest it afterwards, and it's literally just going to be pan-fried very quickly. So
your couscous is cooked?
Couscous is cooked, yes.
You cooked that without the zest? Oh, and the zest is in there now, is it?
The zest has just gone in afterwards, yeah. Most likely, my weaknesses would be perhaps timing. I mean, I'm just a home cook. I mean, you know, I'm not a professionally trained chef. You don't realise it until you're cooking under pressure, how important it is to get things done at a certain time.
Market stall assistant Claire Ann is including both lamb and offal in her adventurous dish.
Under pressure now?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. Doing my usual, trying to do too many
Step
things.
on the gas?
Yep, that's it.
What are we doing here, just quickly? We won't hold you up long.
A little bit of a sofrito, I think, for like the base of the risotto.
Okay.
So it's going. Oh, so it's going to.
This is your Italian side.
Yeah, not Italian style, Scottish risotto.
Oh, Scottish risotto with the oats, of course.
With the oats, it's going to cook
Via Italy, yeah.
Yeah, via Italy. Yeah, Italian
so many
recipe.
things coming together.
Yes.
We won't hold you up anyway.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
They're maybe not the most exotic or expensive ingredients, turnip and liver and kidneys, but I'm presenting them in a way that I think is kind of quite dressed up and glamorous, and I suppose that's quite a good representation of me. Enjoy a bit of glamour, but maybe don't quite always have the funds to fulfil my aspirations.
Richard's injury to his finger has meant that he has lost 10 minutes of cooking time, putting him under additional pressure.
How's the beef, Richard?
Beef's resting. Had
Are we happy with it?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. It looks
okay.
Yeah. Sauce is done. Pumpkin's done. The puree had to take a hit because I couldn't go.
You ran into trouble.
Needing dough with these, you know.
Yeah,
so,
cool. Okay.
Hopefully it won't affect the.
Sure, it won't affect the dish. Then, yeah, make sure you counteract on the balance. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, react. Yeah.
Hopefully you'll still like it.
Okay. Cool.
Good luck, Richard.
Thank you.
Pierce from Wexford narrowly missed out on an apron when he was beaten in the first cook-off.
And the apron goes to Grant.
However, during the second day's cook-off, Nick and Dylan were less than impressed with what was presented.
What we tasted was awful.
Well, we're not going to compromise.
Nick and Dylan were forced to reconsider and brought Pierce back and awarded him the last MasterChef apron.
Oh, it's not at all well.
I've had a chance to cook twice for Dylan and Nick, and I felt the pressure big time on both occasions. I think that was one of the reasons why they didn't put me straight through. Hopefully from here on in I can control the nerves a bit better. I'll certainly try my best, so I won't let you guys down.
Today he is cooking grilled mackerel fillets with Mediterranean mussels.
That's quite Provençal, isn't it?
This, Spanish kind of flavours. I just love Mediterranean flavours. Everyone has their favourites. Asian,
works, yeah.
whatever. Mediterranean's mine. Absolutely love Mediterranean flavours. Also using a little bit of samphire in here, which has got significance because myself and my 7-year-old boy, I bring him foraging for ingredients around the rocks. And if I was doing this dish at home as well, I'd use some sea beet or wild spinach in there as well.
Nice,
It's lovely.
Okay, guys, you've less than 15 minutes left.
Well, there's a lot of elements to it. I would like to use a stock, I think, for something like this, but I'm going to try and make a quick sauce out of the bones of the lamb. That could go wrong pretty easily because it can either be too watery or I can overdo it and I won't have enough stock to put on the plate.
Well, I'm just delighted with Pierce.
Our gentle giant.
Yeah, I'm delighted with Pierce. I love that Pierce has remained loyal to what he understands. He's remaining solid. He's cooking on the things that he knows. He's relying on his instincts for what's right. And I think sending him away and bringing him back has created a real assurance in himself that he deserves to be here.
What about Kevin with his salmon? Did you taste his chocolate?
I tasted the fish stock that's a base. I'm not convinced.
No?
Remains to be seen. I'm not a fan of fishy chocolate.
The main thing about this dish is that the salmon is actually cooked at quite a low temperature and takes about 10 minutes to cook, therefore. But everything else, I think it'll be okay, it'll be fine.
Okay, guys, you got 8 minutes left. Make sure everyone's concentrating. You won't be allowed second over time. Yeah?
I got really ahead of myself and I kind of was looking for stuff to do, looked busy then, and about 10 minutes to go I started getting the elements all together, because the way it was, lots of elements was in the fridge and the freezer, and just didn't leave enough time to do my scallops and get it all together.
Guys, you have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left.
My flour for chapatis was the wrong flour. My downfall was probably the simplest thing again. Like last time was the pasta, this time was the chapatis.
My meat was way undercooked and I knew, and I didn't have time to put it back into the oven. I should have cut the meat 20 minutes before I did, and I didn't. I felt stupid because it was just a basic error.
I lost the time on the fish. I mean, it is a strict 10 minutes. But I remember looking at it at 8, and then I looked at it again, it was 20. I have no idea what happened in between.
The last few minutes, I put my mackerel in under the grill on the highest setting, and it just cooked really, really, really slowly, and the skin wasn't crisping up at all. And with about 30 seconds to go, I pulled out the fillets and I tried to get them onto the pan just to crisp up the skin. Because they were cooked through already, they fell apart. I think the flavours are there. It's just, I was really disappointed that the mackerel didn't come out as it has every time I've cooked it before.
Okay, guys, you got 1 minute left. 1 minute.
I did a lot of things that had to be done last minute, like the batter and the foam and things just had to, even the scallops had to be done the last couple of minutes. So all of that was a big rush, you know, and especially when I was plating up, I could have done with that extra couple of minutes.
I looked up and I saw Richard's plate ready and I saw Claire Ann's plate.
Do we have to plate up?
Is it done?
Okay, guys.
Didn't hear it.
Time is up. Please stop cooking.
Didn't hear it. What do I do? What do I do? That's it. That's it.
It was all ready, and it tasted really great. It was one of the best I've made. I'm devastated. I don't know what goes through your mind. Panic.
What's the matter, Jackie?
Jackie didn't hear the time being called, you know, like 5 minutes beforehand.
And I'm ready. It's ready, but it's not on the plate.
Is it all sitting in the pan there? Darling.
That's it for me.
Not necessarily.
Oh, yeah. Just needed 1 more minute to take them bones out and carve the chicken. It's a minute to plate it up. A minute. A minute for me. Oh, how embarrassing.
No, it's not. No, Jackie.
It's very disappointing and embarrassing, really.
Jackie.
Well, it's an empty plate, isn't it? Nothing to taste. And I really want this very, very badly.
Tonight, the contestants have been challenged to win Nick and Dylan over with a dish that they feel says something about them as a cook. Having selected their ingredients from the pantry, they then had an hour to cook. Having run out of time and plated up their dishes, they must now face the all-important tastings, after which 4 people will be eliminated from the competition.
Half of me says, don't worry, you're on to the next round. Half of me say, you better start worrying because you might not make it.
I need to reach the final. for my own sake.
Although you've made friends with people, either you're going or they're going, and they're really lovely people, but this is about a competition to become the first MasterChef of Ireland, and I still think I'd like to be that person.
If there was one thing that would send me home today, it was definitely my meat. You know, there's no room for error in a competition like this, and I made an error.
First to face the judges is 45-year-old Mandy, who has cooked fillet of lamb with herb couscous and 3 pestos.
So Mandy, come in. Does this tell us about your personality? Honestly?
No, I know I'm better than this. Tells me I'm disappointed.
I feel like choking you, to be honest. And I don't understand why this lamb is raw.
Oh, no.
It's just so disappointment. And I expect so much more from you. I just want to throttle you right now.
I'm disappointed with the meat because I know I can cook meat. And, you know, if this was one of my dinner parties, I would have just made the guests wait another 5 minutes.
I still don't think this is Mandy, though. I don't believe it. Okay?
Haven't seen you work, and when we first saw you, when you first walked in, you wowed us. But you haven't wowed me today.
It frustrates me no end. I think, you know, I would love to go out and just kick something if I couldn't kick myself, because I know I'm capable of better. I know I can do better. I would just love to have another go.
Danish food writer Nadia is next, with her Thai barbecue chicken and papaya salad.
I know that as long as it's like authentic Thai food, it's not like, you know, what you get in the restaurants over here sometimes, then, you know, I should be fine. I should be fine.
How long do you think this would have taken to cook or to prepare?
To prepare? It takes about because you have to cook the marinade, you have to make the marinade and so on. So it does actually take about, you know, 50 minutes when I've been timing it, 55 minutes. I used up all my time.
Sort of thing that you would have on a Saturday night with a few beers, staggering home. What should I eat? A skewer of chicken and some salad on the side.
I think the chicken could have been cooked less. You battered it out pretty thin and then cooked it pretty hard. But, you know, it's fine.
Limerick-born Mike is hoping that his trio of seafood tapas will make the desired impact with the judges.
Doesn't really do much for me, I have to say. Okay. Not really getting the taste of the fish.
It's all very big. It's all very big, and it's a lot to eat. I'm expecting more finesse, especially from you.
Mike wasn't the only one receiving tough criticism. Glaswegian Claire Ann didn't get the feedback she was expecting from her stuffed lamb neck with turnips, apples, green beans, served with an amaretti lamb crumble.
Presentation-wise, a lot to be desired.
Okay.
But, you know, so considering what we've seen you do already,
Yeah.
I think this has been your weakest dish.
Oh dear.
Having seen a lot of the other competitors' dishes today, I'm not really that sure if I would be able to get through to the next round with what I put down today.
And Dundalk man Barry was criticised for neglecting the basics in his dish of roasted sea scallops, fennel and orange salad with an orange puree dressed with watercress.
Are you happy with the cooking of the scallop?
Not really.
No, not at all. And neither you should be, because they're not cooked very well. So if you're going to take on something, I want to see you do the simple things done right first.
All the elements were there. I was just rushed and kind of thrown together at the end, to be honest with you. Like, literally had about 3 minutes to put all the food in a plate. It is a nice dish, so it's done right. I know I can do it right.
But will pharmaceutical worker Shane make the right impression with his set cream, gooseberry and elderflower compote and thins of shortbread biscuits?
I didn't know what they were going to say when I put down the dish. I felt it looked fairly well, but a dish can look fairly well, and if it doesn't taste nice, it's just ruined because people have high expectations if it looks well.
I think it's wonderful. I really do. I really love it. I love the gooseberries. I love their sourness because we tasted them raw, and they were incredibly sour. And you've just added the right amount of sweetness to them. Custard is beautiful. It's set with the agar, which shows just, you know, excellent consistency. Couldn't be better. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Really good.
Sorry, I'm going to have to finish it off. Extraordinarily good. Absolutely. Mind-blowingly, fantastically, finger-licking, absolutely gorgeous. I'd have another one, please.
Didn't expect to get the comments that I did get. I was blown away. Like goosebumps all the way up and down my back, everywhere. Arms, shoulders, everything. I just couldn't believe it.
Architectural student Christine, the youngest of the 16 finalists, is cooking the second scallop dish of the day and is presenting them with asparagus served 3 ways.
Kind of demonstrated 3 different cooking techniques for asparagus, and you've served them with some scallops. It's like a dish missing components. It's not complete.
And things didn't go any better for Jarek's traditional Polish dish of braised roulade of beef served with seasonal vegetables, sauerkraut and beef jus.
I think your choice of meat is the problem here. Yeah. I don't think the top side is something you should have chosen to cook in 45 minutes. I think that's your mistake.
Connell served lavender and herb lamb with summer peas, Bluebell Falls goat's cheese and lavender jus.
I thought it needed a little bit more jus in it.
There's no jus there?
Yeah, there's a very small amount. You can just see it just over the top of it, but it definitely needed a good spoonful more.
These lashings of it.
Brigitte now needs to convince Nick and Dylan that choosing to make cauliflower soup with smoked haddock, hazelnuts and spring leaf was the right route to go to stay in the competition.
It's not seasoned enough, or maybe too much cream in there. Just not getting the real flavour of the cauliflower.
63-year-old independent TV producer Kevin wowed the judges at the auditions with his flame-seared tuna.
To actually go in looking for an apron and come out with the apron with the big M on it, I mean, that to me was one of the highlights of my life.
Today, Kevin has cooked a much-anticipated confit of salmon with a duo of chocolate sauces.
Well, I think presentation is going to be one of my good points. I have no problem with criticism, absolutely none. If I learn something from it and it's fair, that's okay with me.
Are you happy?
Yes.
You are happy?
Yes.
If you're happy, I'm not happy. This has disappointed me beyond belief. The salmon is completely overcooked. The white chocolate sauce is completely split. You seemed so confident that I couldn't wait to taste this. This has fallen short so much. I'm not even sure if you're taking the competition serious.
I have to make reference to this piece of fennel because it doesn't do any, what is it representing for the dish?
Well, it's one of the chocolates is actually fennel. It just does a backdrop.
Am I going to eat this?
No.
No, so
it's a garnish.
It's a bit more than a garnish. It's
all right.
It's a bit phallic and all that kind of stuff. Right. It's just a worthless sort of point to the dish. Because you're struggling to carry it as well, you know. So I'm speechless because this is just almost like salmon that you can mix with a bit of mayonnaise and put in a bit of bread.
Yeah. It's usually pinker than that.
Yeah, no, but at this stage,
you really think that that's MasterChef level?
No, it's not. It went over the top. I think the judges' comments were over the top. Seriously, I mean, if a dish is not right, it's not right, and I agreed with them. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth, if I want to continue. That's what I'm feeling at the moment.
Waterford native Mary is unsure if her dish is cooked through.
I'm hopeful it's cooked, yeah. I'm just a bit nervous, but everyone likes a gooey cake.
She is presenting a trio of strawberry desserts. A strawberry creme fraiche and mint granola pot, strawberry and white chocolate financier cake, and a champagne and rose jelly.
Your financier is fabulous. It's red, it looks very interesting. It's moist in the middle. You can taste the almonds, you can taste the burnt noisette. Yeah, I think you're fantastic. I think you've worked really hard all morning. I think you've turned out something very clean, very self-assured, and I think Nick is going to love this.
It's very delicate jelly. It's very pretty. And you actually are very consistent, which we like.
Thank you.
You have one for sure weakness, though.
Okay, go for it.
That you work in a mess.
Yeah.
And I think you're aware of that.
Yeah.
And you need to sort that out, because we're getting into the other side of the competition, okay? So.
Yeah, I'll take that on board. Yeah, I think they pretty much cleared it, cleared the entire plate, which is good.
South African Grant took a risk to cook a lobster curry.
When I was walking out the dish, I didn't know what to expect. I looked at what I had, looked against what other people had plated, so I kind of felt a little bit out of my depth.
Honestly, I'm never a fan of putting something as delicate as a lobster with curry. Because the lobster's so sweet and delicate, I think there's so many thousands of other choices a chef can go than curry. However, I'm surprised you haven't overcooked the lobster, as I thought you might. The curry's not too strong, which shows the understanding of the piece of fish that you're using. You've really shown me today that you can cook, and for that, I'm impressed.
The last time I felt like this was actually when I ran with the Bulls in Pamplona about 10 years ago. It's that feeling of everything building up, it's over, and it's just that I don't know, post-event buzz, I think.
And with only 3 more tastings to go, Richard is serving a masala fillet of beef, curried pumpkin, and cardamom sauce.
So this is, by the looks of things, a big plate of ginger, hearty food.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's me. That's me on a plate.
I actually do think it is you on a plate. What you've done here is really just cook your comfort food, stuff that's relative to you. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's yours.
Pierce is hoping that his grilled mackerel fillets with Mediterranean mussels will keep him in the competition.
So this is representing of the gentle giant.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, the mackerel didn't crisp under the grill.
Mackerel's very nice. Goes well with the marriages of flavours you've done through. Mussels are nice with it. It's very Mediterranean. You're showcasing, I think, your love of food, your love of flavours, and fair play to you.
Well, the judges were a bit harsh on some of the other contestants. Judging by their comments, I hope I've done enough.
Finally, it's mother of 4 Jackie who failed to plate up within the hour and must face the judges empty-handed.
People were judged before me, and I saw the beautiful plates and I saw the beautiful food, and I was crying even, I think, and then I had to come up empty-handed, and you feel really empty and small. I'm devastated.
It's okay. It's okay. I understand. I mean, obviously the rules of competition is that, you know, once we call time, then you obviously run out of time.
I didn't hear it.
Didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it.
But consolation is, we think you're a great person. What you cooked for us originally when we gave you the apron was fantastic.
What we did do is we taste the components of the dish, okay? Okay?
Thank you.
But our hands are tied.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand.
We don't want you to be upset
I'm
anymore,
sorry,
though.
I'm very...
Give her a hug.
Oh my God, that's okay, okay?
Yeah, no, it's...
It's okay, your food was fantastic.
Thank you.
Get that, okay? That's why we put you through.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay, so don't feel bad.
I have a tiny little bit of hope that with my previous dish, my audition dish was very good. Knowing that they taste the components of this dish and they liked it gives me a tiny little bit of hope. But I don't know, it's not a whole lot.
Thank you, guys. If I can ask you to go and wait in the chill-out room while myself and Dylan make the difficult decision.
Mandy actually worries me because it's certainly not at the MasterChef level that some of the other dishes are coming from the contestants. It's just not. Like, I mean, that lamb was raw.
Funny thing is, right, the lamb is the sort of the main ingredient and then everything else goes around it. But the main ingredient just wasn't cooked.
She's really fallen down today.
Because that means then you're teaching her how to cook lamb. But that's not what it's about.
We don't have time for that.
Don't have time for that.
Mike,
I just didn't get it. For me, it was a complete letdown, and I wouldn't even pay for that in a restaurant.
No. He actually lost it a little bit because he cooked the fish a couple of times. He overcooked it twice. It was in the bin.
Is that what it was?
Barry. For me, with Barry, it's okay trying something as complex as that, but then didn't even cook the scallops correctly.
Yeah, that was very disappointing.
It's like they're not even roasted properly. They're undercooked.
Not the disappointment, I have to say, like, high expectations beforehand, and then now, a bit of a letdown.
Kevin, where do we start?
You said, you know, are you happy with this dish? And he went, yep.
I needed him to say, no, the salmon is overcooked. But even the fennel, like, what was the fennel? What was that? Do you think Nadia has the talent to move on?
Haven't seen her more, the way she cooks, the way she sort of works in the kitchen side of things. Just makes me nervous.
To me, it was, you know, something that you might pay £6 or £7 for in an Asian restaurant.
If that.
Yeah. And the pressure's on now in the competition to make a choice.
Yeah, no, we can't sort of afford to...
It's unfortunate we don't have longer.
Out of our 16 contestants, the dream will end for 4 of them, who at the end of today will have to hand back their much coveted MasterChef aprons and leave the competition.
Pierce, Connell, Bridgeen, and Grant.
Richard, Yarrick, Mary, and Shane.
Congratulations. You're through to the next round of MasterChef. Please stand over to my left.
Mandy and Nadia.
Kevin and Jackie, please step forward.
Guys, unfortunately, you've been unsuccessful. Will you please leave the kitchen and hang up your MasterChef aprons?
I'm really surprised, actually. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
She's a fabulous cook. You all are fabulous cooks.
Okay, guys. In our opinion, this category is listening, and this category needs to listen. Christine, you do work very well. You need to keep pushing. We need to see results. You need to understand your dish and understand the dishes are not just individual components. They need to marry together. Claire-Anne, you have to start understanding that things are individual and they must be brilliant on their own. If they're not brilliant on their own, the dish is not brilliant. Today, we didn't want to smell it. We didn't want to eat it. We're down to our last legs. Mike, such a transformation from the first dish to the second dish. Where is that Mike gone? We need to see him back. Barry, the same. Every component must stand strong on its own. The scallops must be cooked correctly. The salad must be crunchy. The jelly must be appropriate. So it's important for us not to let you move on without highlighting where it is that you're falling short. Yeah. Okay, guys? So you can join this team on the left.
Thank you.
If I'm being very honest, I think if there hadn't have been 4 evictions, I perhaps would have stayed.
I feel very empty and very sad that it's over. I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I thought I had a good chance.
I believe the judges made a fair decision, yes. They told me in no uncertain terms.
I'm not actually sure because the feedback I got was really good.
Onwards and upwards, like my soufflés.
Next time on MasterChef, some of the country's finest foodies come to dinner.
I'm very nervous, I have to say.
Come on, Mary.
I think it's very weak.
A hake died for no reason today.
I could have trained my young fella to cook it.
What was that? Was that a curse word?